Welcome and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Exploring the Southwest. The goal for today is to head up to Sycamore Creek, where I hope to find some hematite ore, as well as gather a little bit of clay in the area for a project I'm working on. It's going to be a great day out here to explore this area. One of my favorite places to reflect and gather my thoughts. The canyons in this area go on for miles and miles. Even though we're in the middle of the desert, lush canopies of green trees exist in the area, trees that flourish off the creek's water supply. It can turn into a jungle out here pretty quick. This place in recent years has become a haven for UTV and off-roading. Several years ago, though, this was a nice place of zen. Depending on the day, you might be enjoying the sounds of wildlife in the creek. The next, the roar of someone's motor or motors. Thankfully, the officials closed the areas off during flooding. Some people will actually try to ford the river otherwise, which is always a surprise to me that people would even attempt it at all. But yeah, you just never know. You don't want to be in this area though when there's a risk of flash flood. Everything from the neighboring mountains spills into the creek. It can be just minutes before you have a raging torrent of water running right through here. Ah, the sound of water, so lovely. I almost forgot what I was here for. Just sitting in the shade, resting, and listening to this lovely water. So the main plan is to hunt around for some hematite. This is a nice area to find some scattered around the surface. It's usually mixed in with a lot of jasper in this area. The jasper out here can be pretty vibrant red. I used to collect this stuff out here to polish up and shape into cabs. Sadly, the jasper in this area is really poor quality jasper. Lots of pits when it was formed, which doesn't look good when it's polished. So now, I just leave this stuff behind for other rock collectors that might want the stuff. When I first started rockhounding, this stuff was the real deal for me. Red and beautiful. I feel kind of bad rejecting it now. Here we are at Sycamore Creek, looking for some hematite. While we're out here, we might as well grab some clay and a little bit of sand so we can mix it in with that clay. This is going to be a fun day. It's really nice and cool out. I'm looking forward to see what I can find out here. Alright, let's get to it. The hematite forms right on the jasper. Sometimes you get streaks of it in the matrix, but it usually forms on the top of the surface. Wow, that's a lot of tadpoles in this spot. I bet it sure gets pretty lively out here at night. It's going to be more than enough. So it breaks down this fine powder. I'll turn that into clay. Well, I've been exploring around the creek bank. I just haven't found too many good rocks yet. This area might have become a popular spot for jasper rock hunting. I used to see red rocks all over the place. But I'm not doing too well today. Well, finding clay was the easy part. I'm not sure if it was the smartest idea to grab some so quick in the trip. Oh well, here's the 15 extra pounds in my backpack. Hematite's a common iron oxide compound. I use it a lot in my natural paints, which is exactly why I'm hunting out here for some today. You grind up the material into powder and turn it into some paint. It makes a really beautiful red or maroon hue. The stuff found out here has a really nice deep dark red to it, almost a blood red hue. Sadly, it's not soft like some hematite and requires a bit of work to extract the powder, but I always find it worth the extra steps. I might have to make a separate video of this, as you can polish up the hematite and get this incredible metallic looking reflective shine. It looks really beautiful. Usually this time of the year the creek is just bone dry. I definitely wore the wrong hiking shoes today. But there's just nothing quite like taking home a bit of the swamp with you. These boots sure won't be forgiving me anytime soon. That's for sure. If you're ever in doubt if what you're collecting is jasper or hematite, a good idea is to carry along a scrap piece of ceramic and do a streak test. This involves taking the rock and rubbing it onto the ceramic. You'll get a dark red line if the ceramic is hematite. If you get no line at all, it's jasper, and you can toss it, or you can keep it if you like it. So here's some of the specimens I found today. Some have this really nice metallic sheen to them. You can see they're mainly jasper though, a bit of hematite growing on the top. I'll have to remove that top layer. Maybe I can polish some of these, but the jasper out here has so many pits. They don't polish well at all, unfortunately. They're just not worth the time. So I think most of these I'm just going to leave behind. It'd be great to find some ochre, but the hematite's all pretty solid out here. In all the recent years I've come here for it anyway.
Alright, so I found a huge cache of hematite. A lot more than what I discovered earlier. This is the good stuff. Kind of see it's got the metallic sheen to it, especially all over it. Real good pieces that'll grind up real good. I'm always tempted to polish some of these because some of them really come out really awesome looking. But yeah, we got some good pieces here. I think that's enough. Look at this crazy piece. Looks like it was split open somehow. You can just see how the iron has been rusting out inside there. Man, this is almost a take-home piece. Wow. I don't know if that'll focus in on that. That is some really cool stuff in there. Looks like a little bit of a broken piece. I might take this one as a souvenir. A lot of jasper out here too. You can always find jasper all over the place. But hematite was the stuff we're looking for. Got plenty of it right here.
This specimen was just so lovely. I had to take a photo to remember it by. Stay wild, my friend.
Alright, well we sure got a lot of exploring in today. We found our hematite that we were looking for, and we found a couple other minerals that were pretty interesting. We left a lot of those behind because that sand and clay that we were collecting earlier, oh boy, that backpack of mine sure weighs a ton right now. And I've got quite a bit of a ways to hike back. So there's no pack mule with me or a donkey to carry that stuff today. Alright, I think that's going to kind of wrap it up for today. Time to start heading back.
Had some small puffers drifting on by. Always nice to see clouds on any adventure. Such a beautiful view of the Black Mesa. Well guys, thanks so much for joining me on today's adventure. Till next time.